pause, my eyes crawl to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin on dice and woes of life. Love deprived, look at her vibe. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise, crystal shaded lids, moments reflected. Often veers a pit, clear, grinning from ear to ear. Craving and raving and grain, rekindling the flame. Closer she draws near, stay there. Remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose. In paradise, we know what our work is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you can see.
Boom, yes it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello everybody and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. Of course, I'm your host, Matt Clark, and today is Tuesday, so you know where we're at. We're at Georgia's Happy Hog, located at 712 Culbertson Drive, just east of Lincoln, north of the OU Medical Center, south of the state capitol, across from the Harn Homestead. Can't miss it. It's right there. You know, you come in, if you're coming from 23rd, you go left. You can't go right because the Harn Homestead is there. If you're coming from OU Medical Center going north, you make a right because you can't go left. So anyway, come up the hill, stop right there, Lindsay, and go across it, and it is right there. Can't miss it. Great place. We're here every Tuesday. And, today, what am I having? I'm having beef today. I'm having sliced brisket or chopped brisket today with, of course, mac and cheese because they have mac and cheese on Tuesdays and Fridays, sorry. And I thought about getting the smoked wings because their smoked wings are delicious. You can do that. But, of course, they're closed Sundays and Mondays, open Tuesday through Fridays from 11 to 7. And then Saturdays from 11 to 5 for catering events. You can call them at 525-405-525-8111. And, of course, it is brought to you by Y&B, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're the dual housing lender and a member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to come out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses, in the Oklahoma City area. And you can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com, or you can go to the main bank located at 401 Elm, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. YNB East, which is off the Parkway and 66 or 39th Expressway. YNB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YNB Parkway, which is off Cross Brooks and I-40. And according to our guide, Nathan Taylor, YNB 212 steps from the high I-40 if you walk around a car. That's what he said. I mean, I'm not doing it, but if he says it, that's what we got to go with. YNB Peoples, located in Bethany on 23rd between Rockwell and McCarthy, so you can't miss it. Fantastic place, and they do great service there for everybody. And then, of course, I got beat up by saying that I was being mean to Nathan and disrespectful, and I'm going to apologize to him. I didn't know if I wasn't planning on it, but someone told me that, so I want to apologize to Nathan. If I was disrespectful in any way or saying stuff about him, I apologize. I don't know if I did or not. I don't remember if I did, but someone told me that. So one thing about it is if you can't be criticized and grow from it, then something's wrong. So anyway, I want to apologize to my guy, Nathan Taylor of YNB. He does great in his own analogy and his own way of doing things. And in fact, he's changed my thought process on a couple things because I think if you can't be willing to change and grow, you're not going to be able to grow as a person. That being said, in NBA news, which is pretty much not NBA news now, but it was, Bill Walton passed away yesterday at age 71. And, the thing about Bill is that, to me, his career was cut short, without question. And we did develop a list of guys whose careers were cut short. I just tried to think of some people whose careers were cut short in different sports, not just basketball, but in football, baseball, and in I did Ayrton Senna, who, if you're familiar with Formula One, you know exactly who I am talking about. and he was killed, and his career was cut short as well. One of the greatest Formula One race car drivers in history he was hurt. He was killed, and then by the way, the Fever and Caitlin Clark finally got their first win of the season. They're now 1-6, so at least they got on the board finally. I just feel sorry for her because she's getting beat up pretty bad. But what we did is, talking about Bill, what we did, like I said, we went through and we named some guys. And and remember, if you have some comments or you have something you want to say, go to YouTube. Here, let me go ahead and do that for you right now. Go to YouTube, search the Unpopular Hour with Matt Clark. And like I said, YouTube, search, subscribe, hit notifications every time we're on. If you want to ask any questions, it'll be right there at the screen. I can see it, and I can answer any questions you might have, or I'll be able to comment about anything that you want to comment on. We'll be able to do that as well. If you will go ahead and go to YouTube and search the Unpopular Hour with Matt Clark and subscribe, hit notifications. And because I don't really see, if you're doing Facebook, I won't see your stuff right away. I'll see it the next day or whatever, but I really won't see it. So by all means, go to YouTube and do that, and that way I can see it and I can comment about what you're saying, or let everybody know what the question is you ask or about your comment. And then also on After the Storm, our OKC Thunder post-game analysis show, which is extremely popular. We get tons of people on that, and we will be doing a show tomorrow night talking about the Thunder at the post-game show, okay? Because we haven't done our wrap-up, and we will talk about that and the Thunder, and we'll give some grades and do the breakdown and what the Thunder needs to do and all of that stuff. So it'll be a breakdown of that. So, but anyway, like I said, go to there and you can do that. So back to what I was saying is that when he passed away yesterday, I started thinking about it because he beat one of my all-time favorite players, Dr. J, okay? And I think that, to me, Dr. J is in the top 10, 12, top 12, 13 as far as greatest players of all time, NBA players. And he doesn't get the recognition that he deserved. And Bill Walton, you got to remember, most of you guys are too young, y'all don't even know. Bill Walton, he didn't lose a game his junior and senior in high school. Remember, you couldn't play as a freshman. Comes back, wins the NCAA championship. And in that particular game, he goes 21 or 22 for 44 points. And back then, you couldn't dunk. And I know you guys have no idea what that was like when you couldn't dunk. But anyway, you couldn't dunk back then. And so he had some points taken away because of the dunk, because of the tip-in dunk. So, it's just unbelievable if you think about that. And the reason why that rule was changed was because of Lou Alcindor, who, as you all know, is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And that's why people don't give him the love that he deserves. But I was like, they changed the rules of basketball for him. Wilt Chamberlain, they had to widen the lane for Wilt. But Kareem, they changed the rules of basketball. I mean, think about that. In high school, I couldn't dunk until I was a junior in high school. And in college, there was no dunking because of him. That's why it was outruled, because they were like, oh, well, it's not fair. What the hell are you talking about? But that was the culture and the nature of America back in the 60s. It was a completely different time, and the mindset of certain people was completely different. And he was just so overwhelmingly dominant, because people don't understand about Lou Alcindor is that he was a freshman. The national championship team, they beat by 30 when the freshmen played them. And they were national champions. And Bill Walton is similarly the same way. He went on an 88-game winning streak. So he didn't lose from the time he was a junior up until his senior year in college. I mean, think about that for a minute. 88 straight games without a loss, not counting high school, just college. And by the way, the UConn Lady Huskies broke that record, which, of course, they did not break it to me, because, you can't compare women's basketball and men's basketball. And I'm so over them trying to compare it and bring them together because it's politically correct. I'm over the politically correct crap in America right now. It just wears me out, because to me, either you can play or you can't. Either you are, you aren't. You have to put apples to apples. Those are apples to oranges. Caitlin Clark can't play in the men's game. There's no women who can play, who are dominant in the women's game, can play in the men's game and be dominant. None. So how the hell are you comparing two sports with different things? It's just like men trying to play, Major League Baseball players trying to play softball. They couldn't hit a women's softball. Ain't no way in hell. They're going to strike out. When you look at some of the greatest players ever trying to hit a softball, can't do it. And then with girls, you try to get them to compete, or women, you try to get them to compete against men in baseball. They can't do it. It's not the same. So keep everybody in their lane. It drives me nuts that we live in a society that everybody's trying to be a part of it or whatever. And like we talked about, some of the past shows, Randy, right now we're talking about the Commander. We were talking about that before a long time ago, or not too long ago, but we were. We're discussing how the shows that we loved that you can't listen to anymore, you can't watch anymore because of the sensitivity people have. And it's like, how are you, how's that offensive? I mean, I don't get it. Like Sanford is saying, you can't really listen because of old Fred Sanford and stuff he said, or Arlen family. It was just the culture we were brought up in and the time it was. I don't look at certain people as a certain way because of TV. I just don't. Because I lived in the real world and I understood what entertainment was versus what reality is. And it's not the same. And so when I look at Bill Walton and I look at where he was and the time he came up and coming right after Kareem and what they had did and then what he did at UCLA, and he was just dominant. He just was. You missed one shot in the championship game at 44 points. Then you go to the NBA and you beat Kareem to go to the Lakers in order to get to the Sixers. And they beat the Sixers. Now, to me, a lot of it had to do with coaching because coaching matters. You can say if you get mad at it all, and I talk about the coaching all the time, but coaching matters. You have to understand the flow of the game. You got to understand who to play, who not to play. And you have to understand this. You got to understand the flow. You just do. And we're going to talk about the flow of the game again here in a little bit when we talk about Minnesota and how they didn't play Cat in Game 2. And we'll talk about that in a minute here as well. But anyway, so some of the guys that I've come up with that did not necessarily, their careers were cut short because of death or because of injury. Okay, and this is my list. And I know that I'm missing some people, and I tried to think of some that this was just off the top of my head. But here are the guys I came up with. Bill Walton. With his not injury, he would have been a top 10 player. I do believe that, okay? Grant Hill. He was unbelievable for the Detroit Pistons. Then he got hurt. Derrick Rose, MVP of the league, tears his knee up. Done. Never the same. Roberto Clemente, killed in a plane crash. Dead. Greatest, one of the greatest. He may have been one of the top 5-10, probably he's top 15 now, greatest player in his short career. Sandy Koufax, the same thing with baseball. How he could have been more than what he was. Okay, simply got hurt, and that was the end of that. So when you look at those two just in baseball, what they were able to accomplish in their short periods of time, their dominance was so dominant on a consistent basis that you had to put them at another level. You had to make them Hall of Famers based on a short career. Gale Sayers in football. Bo Jackson in football. I mean, Bo Jackson, to me, arguably is the greatest athlete of all time. Now, people talk about Jim Thorpe and all that, and I love what Jim did back in the day and, all the stuff that he did with this, heptoptyl, whatever. I can't even call it, say what it is, but you know what I'm talking about, track thing, doing all the things. Fantastic. But in today's environment with all the great athletes, for Bill Jackson to be in the Pro Bowl and Major League Baseball in the All-Star game in the same year, that's effing crazy. That's insane on the level of talent and what he was able, to accomplish. That's crazy. And people can say what they want to about it, all you want to, but that is crazy, the fact of what he was able to do in that short period of time. And so, yeah, that's one of my guys right there, Bo Jackson, and then, of course, Gale Sayers. His career cut short again because of injury. In 5 years, he's in the Hall of Fame. I said I'm joined by my guy, Drew Hinthorn of Husker. Drew Picks, what's up, homie? Can you hear me, Drew? You froze on me, Drew. Anyway, my guy, Drew Hinthorn, is coming on here. We'll catch him. Are you there, Drew, now?
Yeah, I'm here. What's
Okay.
going on, my friend?
Hey, nada, man. Just kind of going over my list of the best athletes in history who didn't, because of injury, talking about Bill Walton, honoring his death yesterday, talking about how he would have been a top 10 player of all time had he not got hurt. because clearly he was the greatest passing big man of all time until Jokic
Yeah.
came along. Until Jokic. I think Jokic
Knee
passes him.
problem got him. Those feet back.
Yep. And then my other guys were Grant Hill and Derrick Rose in basketball, Roberto Clemente and Sandy Koufax in baseball. And then, of course, I'm talking about Bo Jackson and Gale Sayers, basically saying that Bo Jackson's probably the greatest athlete of all time. I mean, I love what Jim Thorpe did back in the day.
I could put Napoleon Compton in there. There's a few other football players.
Well, I don't know, but Drew, I'm talking about that would have been the top of elite in the top 10. That's where I'm trying to cut. That's where I cut the line. I don't know if Napoleon Kaufman would have been a top running back in the history of the game. Do you?
No, he wouldn't have.
But he was really good. But that's what I'm saying, Drew. I was trying to put down the guys at different sports like Anton Senta, in Formula One, how great he was, and Dario Falchetti or whatever that was married to Ashley Judge before he got his legs taken off in the Indy race. People like that. That's what I'm saying. I tried to cut it out, but to me, Bo Jackson, what he did, Drew. I mean, dude, when you make when you are all-star in baseball and in the Pro Bowl in football, same. I don't know what to say to that. People can talk about Deion Sanders, but Drew, that is insane. Don't you agree?
Yeah, he was definitely in his prime in both sports, and probably the best at his position in both sports.
Right, and that's what I was saying. I was like, the fact that him to do what he did, hit a home run, leading off the world at the All-Star game, hits a home run. It's unbelievable. But back to Bill Walton. Drew, I was talking about him and that, he beat Dr. J, which people, if you're not old enough to know how great Dr. J was, I feel sorry for you. You just don't know how really great he really was. And he beat Kareem, he beat the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals, and then turned around and beat the Sixers in the finals. And to me, that was a lot to do with coaching than it was anything else. And then to talk about how he went 21 for 22 in the championship game against Memphis when, he got, he had 4 takeaways because of dunks when you couldn't dunk back then.
Did he lose the game in college?
Yes, he lost one game. They lost one game to Notre Dame. Yeah. Adrian Dantley.
Yeah.
Who was unbelievable. People don't know how good he was either, Drew. He was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Selfish as hell, but unbelievable. He was not a team player, but he was unbelievable. But I was just talking about Walton, and I just think that Jokic.
Was David Little on Notre Dame team?
David Little.
Yeah, point guard.
David Little played at OU.
What was the point guard's name for Notre Dame at the afro? That name's Little.
Now that I don't remember, Drew. You have to look that one up. I don't remember.
What's his name? But was Trapuka on that team?
Kelly Trapuka was, yep.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the name of that little guard that played for Notre Dame. He was good. I could have sworn it was Little, but maybe not.
Well, David Little played at OU. That's probably why you remember. That's probably why you put Little and him together. But Drew, I was saying that with Bill Walton, he was now you and I hate him because he went to the Celtics. I didn't like him because he beat my Sixers. He beat Dr. J and them when their coach just ended up getting fired. They had to hire Billy Cunningham in order to win the championship. But taking the ball out of Dr. J's hands in the game 5 or 6 or whatever that was, I was like, what the hell are you doing? That's something our coach would do. It's what the Thunder coach would do. Take the ball out of your best player's hands and give it to somebody else. Well, you're going to lose when you do that. Which is dumb. And, of course, he got fired, and they ended up hiring Billy Cunningham, and they won it. But, Drew, I was just talking about how good Walton was. And then when he went with the Celtics and, people were beating up, talking about, Michael Jordan, not winning forever. I'm like, do you understand the 86 Celtics were arguably they're one of the top 2-3 best teams in the history of NBA. Now, you can't really argue times and stuff, but you know what I'm saying? Because eras are different. Like they were trying to argue the '08 Celtics versus the Celtics today. Do you know that the Celtics today had 700 more threes than they did back then? And Perk said that they thought they would beat them in 5. Yeah, and I was talking about, I said, like I tell people, when you do eras, you have to do the rules of that era. And the teams today could not beat any of those teams back then if the rules were back then. Now today it would be a little different because you can't touch people. But I mean, remember Tony Allen was on that team, Drew. If you think that, I mean, come on. Do you think that Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown is going to score on Tony Allen? I mean, Drew.
Rivers was that guy's name. David Rivers.
David Rivers. Okay, yeah, that's who it was.
He played after.
Oh, he played after him?
And he was early 80s. And I think wasn't Carr? I think Carr was on that Notre Dame team too.
Carr may have been. He may have been just getting there.
Lambeer
was Lambeer. I think Lambeer and Dantley played together.
Yeah.
Lambeer was the center.
That's pretty good Notre Dame team.
Yeah, they were really good, and they beat them. And UCLA didn't have a good team. It's just like when Houston beat UCLA with Kareem when he had the bad eye, and when they played at the Astrodome, and they beat him, and they were running their mouth, and then they came back and played each other in the finals, and Kareem just killed M&H. Just killed him.
That's an amazing stat, though. They did that many threes this year, I think.
Yeah.
But again, that's why they get beat sometimes. Again, they shouldn't because they live by it, they die by it.
That's 100%. But Drew, 15 or whatever, 35, whatever, more threes than they made in 08. That's crazy.
And when did ESPN just start bowing down to old boy from Duke? Good Lord, I'm tired of hearing about him.
Oh, you're talking about oh my God, the shooter. JJ Redd. Oh, dude, they love him.
He went from a podcaster to being on the show, and now he's doing their lead game broadcast.
Yeah.
Oh, good God.
Dude, once you get it's today's thing. If you get popular, they love you. And like for example, how are you you don't have a podcast with LeBron. You start doing a podcast with LeBron. 2 weeks later, the coach is fired, and all of a sudden, you're now one of the leading candidates for the job.
Yeah, I sure hope that he just stays and brings the league. Just take it. It's the road, Jack.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
We can get 7 without him.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. The Lakers, if they hire him, just like Jenny Buss now. I mean, to me, Pat Riley shows you what an organization is. LeBron.
Jerry Buss wouldn't have had that.
No, he's Pat Riley. Pat Riley learned from Jerry Buss.
Yeah.
He runs the Miami Heat just the way Buss ran the Lakers. This is what we're going to do. We are who we are. You come here, you bow down to what we're doing. We don't bow down to you. If you want that, get out of here. And Pat Riley, I mean, think about this. LeBron was supposed to be best friends with D. Wade, and he left without saying anything to him. He didn't even tell him. He ain't the GOAT. Sorry, Drew. But anyway, back to scores. Yeah, back to last night. Celtics, the Pacers disintegrated again. This is the third game, Drew, that they could have won. Third game they could have won. And just disintegrated.
They're really missing Halliburton.
Yeah, Halliburton last night, yeah. But remember, they had him game one.
They had to run their offense to get a bucket. The point guard, the two guys they got, Nimitz or whatever.
Nimrod, yeah.
Yeah. Those two guys are pretty good, but they're not Halliburton.
Yeah, and the little short guy, TJ, what's his name? The little short dude. Yeah, the one that missed the wide open shot from the baseline from 10 feet. Halliburton makes that probably.
Yeah.
But that's the difference, when you're a backup trying to play real minutes. But, the Celtics.
Turner's not playing as good as he was playing whenever Halliburton was there.
Well, because, players play together. They play differently together. You got to put the right groups and the right players together because they sync better. It's like with the Thunder. When they didn't start Josh Giddey, you broke the rhythm of the team. But once again, I don't think the Thunder were trying to win. I just don't. I mean, how are you going to change your lineup 2-2, Game 5 at home, and you change your starting lineup? I mean,
it was a desperation move.
But Drew, I don't understand. It's 2-2. And then after that, at the game you win in Game 4 when SGA took over, then after that, he didn't make more than 2 shots in a row after that the rest of the series. Coach, I mean, it's like, dude, and I just don't understand him. When SGA makes 3 to 4 shots in a row, what happens? It relaxes the team. They don't feel like they have to score. That makes you better. But instead, I don't understand it. But I still think the Celtics, they've got their 4-0. They took care of business, and then the Mavericks tonight, Drew. T-Wolves and the Mavs. Who do you like off the top of your head? I know you like the Mavs. I don't even know why I'm asking.
Lively doesn't play, you could get close, and we'll see if Cleaver comes back. But I was kind of hoping Lively played tonight, but I guess it looks like he's not going to.
Yep. I told you that. I didn't think he was going to be able to play tonight. That's what they had said. So, I just think, Drew, when I look at this game tonight, Kyrie is 14-0 in closeout games, and he really hasn't played fantastic. Like last game, he didn't play that great. Do you think? I mean, game 2 he really played good, but last night I don't think he really. I mean, not last night, but 2 nights ago in game 3, I don't think he played that great. Do you?
He had a big shot out of the corner. That was huge. What he put it up with 20.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the second game too, he had 24 at half, and he really set the tone for the Mavericks in the first half, and then Luka closed him out the second half. But I mean, when I look at this, I look at the series, and I'm thinking, Big Cat, what did he call himself? The greatest shooting big man of all time. First of all, when you got to name yourself, you got to give yourself props, which like LeBron does. When you got to talk about yourself, are you really the greatest? Have you got to promote it? You know what I'm saying? If you got to promote it yourself, are you really as good if you got to do it yourself? I mean, come on now. That frustrates me right there. But
just don't give yourself a nickname.
Yep, I mean, but to me it's like playoff P. Really? Playoff P. Okay. Same thing. But I just look at this.
I've seen a lot of stuff that's got him coming back to Oklahoma City. I sure don't think that'd be answered either.
Oh, Paul, I mean, no, he's too old. You can't have anybody over, 20, 5, 7, maybe 28 max. Because our average age of our team is 22 and a half, 23. You got 2 guys that are 25, and everybody else is 21 or 22. Pretty much all your players are 21 or 20, 21, 22, which is J-Dub, Chet, Josh, Dort, and SGA about 25. But everybody else is 20, 19, 20, 21, 22. So, I mean, why would you bring a 30-something-year-old into that group? You have to have somebody around their age who can actually – because I think even SGA has a hard time blending in with those guys. You know what I'm saying? Because he's like way more mature. Like, look, guys, you got to have some fun, but you got to be serious. This is, here's a short opportunity to do what we need to do. So, I thought about, to me, I think you and I talked about, didn't you talk about bringing in, what's his name from Cleveland? Oh, God, what's his name?
Allen?
Yeah, Jared Allen.
Yeah, I like him. I tell you what, I like the guy from New York, too, the guy who put up the Lakers.
Yeah,
Go
ahead.
He'd be a great fit.
And remember, he's up for contract, too.
I know.
So, I mean, the Thunder's got plenty of money, and I saw this thing the other day that SGA could sign a 4-year, $296 million early extension if he wanted. The question is, are you a Thunder? Do you do that, or do you wait and he gets another deal and you're going to put him at $400 million? What do you do, Drew? I think the Thunder wait. They're not going to extend him 2 years early. Don't you think so? Even though they're going to save money?
Well, it just kind of depends on what kind of moves they're trying to make. I mean, if you're extending, doesn't that kind of hamper you to make moves down the road?
No, not really, because he's 3 years away, Drew, before his contract's up. This is only his second year.
I don't think he'll sign it, though. That's my thing.
I wouldn't.
I don't think he wants to do it, yeah.
I wouldn't.
No.
I'm not signing anything that early when it's going to cost me how much money? $100 million? $100 million? I ain't doing that.
That'll be his third contract?
Yeah, it'll be his third.
Contract.
Yes, his third, yeah.
That's really your money-making contract.
Your last big one. That's your last big one, yeah. In the NBA, it's usually your last big one.
For most guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's usually your last big one. And I just look at it and I'm just thinking, man, and we're going to do a big show tomorrow night. We're doing our end-of-year show tomorrow night. We're going to do that. We're going to talk about what the Thunder should do and what they can do and, doing their grades and all of that stuff tomorrow night. And we're going to do the preview tomorrow day, and then we're going to do the actual show tomorrow night.
When's the draft? June.
It's in June. The end of the month, I think.
Yeah, I think the draft may just kind of be there's not a whole lot. It's not
There's
a
nothing
great
in there.
draft.
There's nothing in there.
Yeah.
You don't have to. The whole thing with the Thunder is to make a move. You're gonna have to either go get somebody who's already playing, which is what I suggest, or you go get your young guy in the draft, and then you go get your older guy too. You know,
Yeah.
like a Jared Allen or the what's his name again? What's his name? Jared Herdstein, something Stein. What is it from the Knicks?
Yeah, I like Julius Randle from the Knicks too.
I don't like Julius Randle, not with the Thunder.
I think he'd be great. I think he'd be a great.
Drew. He's a black hole. Once he gets the ball, he wants to shoot.
Boy, he's a big 6'9" guy that can guard and score 25 points though.
I know, but you need somebody who, because the thing is, it's going to be an SGA and J-Dub. Hartenstein, yeah. But Drew, I think you need somebody who doesn't need the ball, who's going to rebound, who's going to defend, and who's going to block shots. That's what you need. Somebody to relieve Chet for some pressure. And then because you're going to have SGA and J-Dub are going to be your primary scorers with Chet. So you need somebody who doesn't need the ball. And Hartenstein doesn't need it. Jared Allen doesn't need it. They still can score their, 10 points a game or whatever. But they need to have somebody with some size who can rebound because Dallas clearly killed us. But once again, the coaching and the moves he didn't make killed the Thunder. His decisions killed the Thunder. But I do agree with what someone said today that the Mavericks match up way better against the Timberwolves than they do against the Nuggets. Do you think so, Drew?
Say that again.
That the Mavericks match up much better against the T-Wolves than they do against the Nuggets.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just I think that the Nuggets can put a lot more pressure on in the backcourt with just for scoring wise, where they're kind of a 4-out, kind of like the Thunder play, and where they can use their size a lot more against the T-Wolves.
Yep, and then but my deal is with the T-Wolves. You're looking at this game tonight, Drew. They're just wow. Anthony Edwards, he's averaging 20, but he's not anywhere near. He's not even near where he should be. And the fact that I guess we might as well figure this out now. Karl Anthony Towns' cat is not a playoff guy.
No.
He's disappeared every year in the playoffs. So we just might as well realize that.
He might be still a little hurt too.
Yeah, but Drew, still, come on now. But like you said, he can't get a shot off on the three because it's so slow.
Yep.
And those guys are on him, and they're 6'11", and they're athletic too, so he's not able to do that. But, to me, with him not playing the final 8 minutes of the game 2, you playing Rudy Gobert over him, what does that say? That's something going on with their lineup that we don't see.
Yeah.
Because how does he sit for 8 minutes? And he wasn't playing that well. Granted, Drew, but man, for 8 minutes to sit, 3 or 4 minutes I can see, but 8 minutes, Drew, do you see? Can you see that? Do you understand? I don't get that one.
And I like Big Cat's game too. I know. I'm with you. He may not be a playoff guy.
That's what I'm saying. He hasn't showed up in the playoffs yet. But Drew, 15% from three. Or 18, is 15 or 18 point, the worst in the history of the league, in the playoffs?
Yeah.
And he calls himself the greatest shooter of all time, big man shooter of all time. Okay, whatever you say, man. Whatever you say. So, but anyway, I just kind of laugh. But anyway, I'm excited about tonight. And then, of course, tomorrow, after tonight, we'll know what it is and we'll do our preview.
Well, then you got what? They don't play till June 6th. They're off 10 days.
Yep.
If the Mavericks win tonight.
Well, but they did that on purpose, though, Drew, because they thought both series were going to go 7. If they go 7, then it's only, 4 days or 3 days, which is what they were counting on, and that's not what happened, which is going to help both teams, really. It's going to help because Kleber's going to be healthier, and, my boy, our big boy from the the Celtics, he's going to be healthier. So, Porzingis. So it's going to, it's going to help both teams. Yeah. Both teams will be completely healthy. Yep, so it's going to be good. I'll see that. Hold on. Let's go ahead and take our –
I'll be rooting for the Mavericks.
Why don't you just hold back, y'all? I wonder why. We know why, Drew. We'll let you talk about it here in a minute. I want to thank our sponsors, SRB. If you have needs for engineering, surveying, or planning, hit our guy Mark Long up. They love to be behind the scenes. And if you have needs for a new complex that you're building, they can make sure everything is laid out properly where everything works and no flooding, as well as if you have a dam, a neighborhood dam, or a water treatment plant, hit our guys up. Collaborative Logic. You have needs for computers, software to make your office run smoother, or network design or websites. Hey, they are the people to see. They designed our website at MC Sports Network. And our guy, Jose Fierro at Oak Grove
What up,
Trucking.
Jose?
You have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved when it's not raining. Because I know he's pissed off. He ain't working right now, Drew. You know he's mad. He ain't working right now. So if you have needs for any of that, please hit our boys up for that. And then, of course, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912.
The bank. Make things happen.
Yes, they are. They're an equal housing lender, a member of the FDIC. Proud sponsor for us to be here today at Georgia's Happy Hog, supporting women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the OKC area. You can pre-qualify at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or you can go into their locations, the main bank, 66 steps from his...
Historic downtown Utah, Oklahoma.
So says the commander. But anyway, YMB East, which is off the Parkway and 66 or 39th Expressway. YMB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YMB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks and I-40. According to our guy Nathan Taylor of YMB, he says 212 steps if you walk around a car from I-40 is what he says. That's what he says, Drew. That's what he says. I'm going to have to take his word for it because I'm not walking it. I know you ain't walking it either, so we already know we ain't doing that. YMB People's located in Bethany on 23rd between Rockwell and MacArthur. And then, of course, Shelter Insurance, the Mark Pemberton Agency, located 4609 Southeast 29th in Dale City, Oklahoma, 405-670-2424. They're open Monday through Thursday, 9 to 5, Fridays, 9 to 1, closed Saturdays and Sundays, proudly serving the Middale area since 1982. That's 1982. And then, of course, my basketball camp is coming up soon, Drew, on the 13th and 14th of June, located at Santa Fe Family Life Center, grades 2nd through 8th, and that is grades that you're currently in, not that you're going into, but grades you're currently in. Thursday and Friday from 8 to 12, $155. You can Venmo or Cash App, and please use the QR code to sign up right away on that because we only have 6 spots left available for everyone. And plus, next Monday, I'm ordering all the T-shirts, so by probably Tuesday at latest, if you're going to bring your kid, I need to know what your T-shirt sizes are for that if you get there. So, but anyway, my basketball camp, and we only take 20 kids, 25 is most, because that way we want to make sure everybody gets a chance. And by the way, your oldest is pretty good at the camp, man. She runs her mouth, Drew. I'm shocked where she gets that from, bro. Shocked where she gets that from. I wonder. It's my girl right there for sure. Drew, talk about your picks today. You got you're taking the Mavs today. Now, why are you doing -2 and -3? Is that 2 different bets? I mean, why are you doing that?
2 different bets. I like them. I like them a lot tonight. I like the 3, and I like the 2. It came down a little bit. I'm guessing that's probably because Lively isn't playing, so it came down a little bit. But I think they close them out. I just don't see. Minnesota's not going to be able to solve it. I just think Luka and Kyrie take over tonight.
Especially with Kyrie, 14-0 in closeout games?
Yeah, and the Mavericks, they know if they can get this one, if they can rest Lively for a while, come in with everybody healthy, get Cleaver back. I could be wrong, but I think that was a big loss for the T-Woods.
Oh, yeah. Oh, agreed. Drew, the question is, Cleaver can come back. Do you play him or not? I suggest you play him just so he can get a little rust
play
off.
Him for a little bit. I mean, at least let him get his feet wet.
Yeah, I agree. Just to get him in there, just so he can see what's up. I agree with that 100%.
I don't think you want to throw him out there against the Celtics in his first game back. Be like, okay, here we go. I think you got to play him a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. And then that way he can take some more rest off and see what he needs to improve on and see what he's missing. I agree 100%. Now you're taking the first quarter. You're taking the half. The Mavericks in the half in the first quarter.
I do. I think they come out firing tonight. I think it's going to be a hostile crowd. I think Houston's going to come out firing and try to set the tone.
Yeah, well, I was there. I was there for Game 3, Drew, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it was crazy. That place
Yeah.
was rocking. And Drew, I'm gonna tell you, it was rocking in there, man. For Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
it was rocking in there, man. It was really, really rocking. What was going on? I mean, I was like, wow, okay. I mean, it reminded me of the old Thunderdome. Remember when we had KD and them when it was rocking? I mean, it was people. First, you people don't understand. Oklahoma City had the loudest home court in the NBA. It was Thunderdome used to rock in that place, and Drew, you and I know it used to. It was loud up in there, and Dallas was every bit of that. Drew at the American Airlines Center, it was every bit of that the other night. It was electric, and they were making plays and making shots. It was crazy. Then now you're taking the over at halftime.
Yeah, again, I think there's going to be a lot of points scored early, especially with Lively out of the game. Because I think you're going to see, I think you'll see Minnesota make some shots. I think it could be a high-scoring first half.
I'll tell you what, that 1-2 punch they got with Lively and the big boy Gabbert. That's.
I didn't see him get hurt. I missed him getting hurt.
I didn't see it either. I don't know how he got hurt.
He hurt his neck.
I didn't see it. I mean, when he got hurt with shoulder, but I mean, I was in the tequila part when he got hurt. I was. My friend wanted tequila shots, so she was taking care of everything. Yeah, she wanted that, so we got her some tequila shots. So, I mean, what am I gonna say, Drew? No, I mean, no. You want to do tequila shots? Okay, let's go. And so we did that and took care of that. But anyway, it's going to be great tonight to watch the game and see what happens in that. Major League Baseball, you're taking my Yankees tonight, Drew. How's it minus 168? What the hell is that?
They're minus 185 right now. I'm looking at they're a big favorite over the Angels. The Angels aren't very good. I think the Angels are 14 games under 500. Yankees, I think, have the second best record in baseball. There probably might be more Yankee fans there than Angels fans tonight, so we'll see.
Which has got to be disheartening, don't you think? It's kind of like like the Dallas Cowboys. Same thing, don't you think, Drew?
I just don't see how the Angels keep on holding on to a team. I mean, it can't be that many people out there that go to those games.
Yeah, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. Then, of course, you're taking the Padres, minus 133 money line.
Yeah, again, it's kind of one of those things. The Padres are a lot better team at home. Marlins come in with one of the worst records in baseball. I do believe, look here, I think the Padres are throwing. Yeah, well, no, they're throwing Waldron, and Waldron's sad. They got Waldron from the Cardinals, so I like Padres a lot. Actually, kind of a low line at 135. I think they should be a bigger favorite than that.
Dude, your Braves 245 minus 245.
Yeah, that line scares me. I'm really sad with the Braves. I mean, it's just not going to be our year. I mean, they lose Kenya for the year, knee injury. They lost Strider to an arm injury. They got third baseman down to an oblique injury. I mean, they're beat up, but they're throwing their ace tonight. So it's kind of just one. Nationals aren't very good. The Braves, it's going to take the Braves a little bit to readjust and figure out how they're going to survive the rest of the year. Now, they did get Klownick in the offseason for depth, but now he's going to play every day. So It's going to be it's a bad deal. Acuna goes down on a non-contact injury around in second base. And
Crazy.
Tears his ACL.
Crazy. Hey,
luck,
Drew, who did you really – I mean, people talk about who had the best roster in baseball. I was arguing, and I'm a Yankees and Dodgers guy.
Yep.
And I was like, I still say the Braves had the best lineup in baseball. I thought.
All the injuries, the Braves,
that's what I said. That's what I'm saying. I was arguing with a guy. He goes, "Well, you're a Yankee Dodger fan." I go, "Hey, dude, I understand who I am, but I'm telling you, the Braves lineup. This is before the season. I said the Braves have got the best lineup in baseball, bro. You're hot."
Yeah. Well, but now it looks like I'm just looking at their lineup tonight. It looks like Riley is going to play tonight, so you're still starting Olsen, Albies, Riley, Short. They're missing their third. So you got Arcia, Klownick's in left field, Duvall. They picked up Duvall and Klownick for that reason. So I mean, it's not still out of the realm. They can't make a run, but it's going to be hard pressed to win it without Acuna. And Strider.
The
We'll
drug,
see, but I'll
hey,
tell you what, Chris Sale has just been pitching like no
yeah,
other.
he has.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do. They seem to always make moves at the trade deadline, too, so I wouldn't be surprised if they go out and find them a center fielder or a left fielder, just rent them for the playoffs. So we'll see.
Yep, I agree. And then those Orioles, minus 166, they just keep staying in there.
Yeah, and Red Sox are so up and down, but the Orioles at home, such a young lineup. I just don't think they know that they're supposed to be good. I mean, I think they're good, 35 and 18.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I like them tonight. And the Red Sox are a terrible road team.
And that's a beautiful stadium, too, by the way, to watch a baseball game, too. It really is.
If you don't get shot on the way
in. You know what I do? Uber. Uber to the game. Uber to the game.
Right in front, please.
Yep. And then you Uber out. You stay inside the stadium until it's time your ride shows up. You make sure it is the right person in the right car.
Just look at the Preakness now. I mean, the Preakness, nobody even goes anymore because Baltimore. I watched some of the crowd stuff from that race, and hell, no one wants to be there.
No, you had
you only had eight horses running the Preakness where you had 23 in the Derby.
They need to gentrify that neighborhood, bro. They really do. And I think they're in the process of doing that. I believe that they are. Unless they're planning on moving the racetrack.
One of the great American cities just going to the wayside.
Yep, I agree wholeheartedly. Then, of course, you've got the Rockies and the Padres over 10.5.
Yeah, we'll take you over with the Rockies in a night game. Should be blowing out about the time of year that they start scoring a bunch of runs.
Yep, I agree wholeheartedly. And the Padres, man, that's such a beautiful place to watch. I mean, San Diego is just a magnificent city. It really is. I tell people all day long, I said, you don't know how beautiful San Diego is. I mean, I love L.A., Drew, but I really, really like. And we know the Commander loves San Diego too.
L.A. and San Diego, it's not comparison.
Yeah, because the Commander and I were talking about that, how that San Diego, he loves San Diego. I still wish he'd have got that condo. I still wish he would have did that. Was it 10, 12 years ago?
We just don't know it.
No, he didn't do it, and it would have been. Hey, it would have been a dog fight had he got that.
Picture show up and he's got an ocean in the background. He tries to tell you that the lake. We know. Yeah.
I don't know who's worse, you or him, when it comes to showing pictures of y'all on the ocean, on the beach. I don't know who's worse, you or him. Probably him, because yours is not in the wintertime. That's the difference. No. Yours is not in the wintertime. That's the difference between you and him. As his is always in the wintertime.
Mine's over Thanksgiving.
Yep. Now, of course, and we're talking. I thought High Stick was going to come on, but he didn't get a chance to get off tonight. And my Stars took care of business, Drew. 5-3 last night. Great game. Watched it.
Great game.
I was bouncing in between that and the Celtics game last night. I was going back and forth, and my Stars took care of business 5-3. Now they're up 2-1. All they did was restore.
Pre-game back home court.
That's all they did was restore home court. That's all that happened. I mean, like people, that's why I try to tell people. I said, in a 7-game series, you got to win one on the road or two on the. If you're going to win, you either got to win all your games at home or win one on the road. But you got to win at home. You got to hold home court, or home field or home ice, whatever you want to do.
Home arena.
Home ice. Yes, home ice. Yeah. And, it's just like in football, you got to hold your home field. Basketball, you got to hold your home court. I mean, you got to do what you got to do to maintain that advantage that you worked all year to get. And then, of course, tonight you got the Rangers up 2-1 over the Florida Panthers. 1.5 over under 6. So you don't do something with that, Drew. I know you didn't have anything in your NHL.
Over under 5.5. I mean, to me, that seems awful low. But the Panthers have that goalie, and it may be one of those 2-1 games. But these playoffs have been high scoring.
Yep.
I'm seeing. I'm not the expert that High Stick Harry is, but I would think that these playoffs have been pretty high scoring.
In hockey, I love hockey. I can watch hockey in the playoffs. I can watch anything on TV in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying, Drew? I can watch baseball.
Yeah.
But I tell people all day long, you have to go something live. You got to watch NBA game live. You got to watch NFL playoff live. You got to watch hockey live. You got to watch baseball in the playoffs. It's a different feel when you go to a game during the year than it is in the playoffs. Don't you agree?
Oh, 100%. Some of those, I just like watching the crowd at some of those games in Canada. It just looks crazy.
Oh yeah, they're insane. You already know that. But see, Drew, I went to what was it, Game 5 when the Cubbies won it? Was that Game 5? I think it was Game 5. I went to there in Chicago, dude. It was rock.
Yeah.
Chicago was rocking. Okay,
Well,
it
yeah.
was rocking.
If you've never experienced
Wrigley,
at Wrigley, then you put that on your bucket list. 'Cause
me
it
too.
was fun. And I just went during the regular season. And it was fun.
Yeah, yeah. I got hooked up with tickets, and fortunately, I get lucky and I get around people who have good tickets.
Mm-hmm.
And because my boy sold his tickets, Drew. Okay, for the first two games, I guess it was Game 5. He sold his first two tickets. Okay, and it paid for his whole
Right.
season. I said, "What?" He goes, "It paid my whole season, bro." He goes, "Because I sold
Mm.
two and I had four." And he goes, "I sold them for so much money it paid for my tickets for the year." I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "He goes, oh yeah." But Drew, he has third base. He was third base, fourth row up, right behind the right,
Right.
just to the left of the visiting team dugout. They're really nice tickets. I mean, really nice tickets.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Yeah, I sold those." He goes, "Oh yeah, I sold those, bro." And it made money. And I
Mm.
gave you those two, and they gave me two, and he had two, and his wife had two, and he had those four tickets. Drew, we had a good time. And I was like, well, at least I can do is buy dinner and drinks, and I did. Chicago's not Oklahoma City, Drew. I
No.
was like, God. I looked at that check. I'm like, oh my God, how much is this again? God dang, Drew. Woo. I mean, but
Yeah.
you get two free tickets to the game. What are you gonna do? A playoff game? What you gonna do, Drew? You know what I'm
Buy dinner.
saying? You buy dinner and drinks, yeah. But I was like, God dang, Drew, I spent $1,000.
Oh
Spent
yeah.
$1,000.
Yeah.
I was
You
like, oh
can
my
go
God.
quick. Couple bottles of wine, couple drinks.
Yeah, I was like, oh my
Fast
God,
time.
dude. I mean, dinner was fantastic now, don't get me wrong. Steak was
Yeah.
magnificent, everything was great. But I got that tab, I'm like, oh my God. I said, am I buying drinks at the game too? Am
Uh-huh.
I buying drinks at the game? I mean, seriously? What's happening here? God dang.
Should
God
have ordered a
dang.
salad.
Woo. But you know what? I ain't gonna complain, bro. I ain't gonna complain. It
Uh-huh.
was a good time. We had a good time, and she was amazing, and we had a good time. So it was okay.
Yeah.
It was
All that
okay.
matters. You look back on it,
And
don't
by the
really
way,
matter how much.
I had just to answer your question, I had a little gray. Okay, just to let you know, I had a little gray.
That's great.
had some gray in there. Okay, just to let you know.
Wrong with that.
Yeah, just let you know what was happening on that. Just want to throw that in there. Just want to throw that in there.
Mhm.
What is your thought process on the NBA postseason thus far overall? I mean, I know you have the Mavs to win it all. You picked that a month ago, but what is your thought process on it overall right now?
Man, it's been all right. I think there's been a lot of mismatches. I think you've had a lot of teams where I think what we talked about was the upper echelon of the NBA was a lot better than the lower. Like the higher seeded teams are much better than the lower seeded teams. You know, hence Indiana making it, but Indiana got to play some teams with injuries, and now they have injuries, and then they get swept. I think Dallas. I think a lot of people thought Dallas could make some noise when they made all the moves at the trade deadline. But other than that, I mean, to me, it's been a lot of blowouts. A lot of blowouts in the playoffs. But I'm hoping this finals makes up for all that because I think you could have a really good finals with Dallas and Boston.
Yep. And Drew, I'm gonna go ahead. I was gonna wait till Friday to do this, but since the NFL is only, I can't believe it, dude. It's 100 days away from the start of football
Yeah.
already. That's crazy.
Yep.
Didn't it feel like it
Coming
just
in
ended?
hot.
Didn't it feel like it just ended?
Well, I think it does just because you really never stop talking about the NFL. You know, they're such a big conglomerate and they're all over TV and everybody makes splash news in the off season and I just think everybody talks about it. So it just doesn't seem like it. I mean,
Yeah.
if it has been, February.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna do the schedule, but I don't have it in there. I have the Bears in here instead of
And
the Chiefs.
we can do the schedule some tomorrow too.
Yeah, what I'll do is tomorrow I will bring up and do the because I had the Chiefs and the Bears because since Caleb was the up and coming Patrick Mahomes, yeah, I'm like I don't see that. But let's just go ahead and go over it real quick, Drew, since we're both here. The Chiefs are 11.5 over under. What is your thought process on that?
They're three-time or two-time defending champs, and
And
I
if you
don't
were
know.
going to beat them, to me, last year was the year to beat them. And Cal heard talking
Yeah, I
about,
think
oh,
they're
well,
not.
they got lucky and all this. I'm like, well, remember, back when Tom Brady beat Patrick Mahomes his first year in the playoffs, he never got the ball again. And
Yeah, yeah.
remember, Tom Brady threw a pick that was called for an
And the
offsides.
Chiefs got better in the
Yeah,
offseason. They got
they
better.
got tons, but everybody did.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but their first schedule,
I,
they start out with Lamar, then they have Joe Burrow, then they have I don't really care about what's his name if he's even going is he going to be ready to play? You think by then?
who's that?
Falcons. Oh my God, my man who's made all the money, quarterback,
Oh,
Kirk
Kirk
Cousins.
Cousins.
Yeah, so they
I don't
have
think it matters.
this is who they got. They have Lamar at home, Joe Burrow at home, him at home on the road, and then they go to the Chargers.
They win 3 out of 4 there.
Yep, and then they turn around and they have the Saints at home,
That's a win.
and then they have at the Niners.
That could be a win too, though. But I think they win that one.
You know, I think Reed and Mahomes are like 4-1 against the 49ers, or 4-0 or something like that. I think they beat them every time. Then they have at the Raiders.
That's a win.
So that puts them 6-5, let's say 5-2. 5-2.
6-1, 5-2.
5-2. Then they have the Buccaneers at home.
That's a win.
Okay, the Broncos are at home
That's a win.
because they want to pay them back for what they did to them.
Yeah.
Then they go to the Bills.
That could be a loss, but
Yeah.
Bills just kind of have their number up there.
Yeah, no. They're 3-0 against the Bills, or 2-0. The ones they've lost to were at Kansas City.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I like the Bills there in that game, but we'll see where the Bills are
And what the
that time of
Chiefs
year.
are. Yep. And then the Panthers at the Panthers, that's a win, don't you think?
That's a win.
Then the Raiders at home.
Hey, Raiders always give them trouble in one of those games. I think they beat them both times this year.
Then the Chargers at home.
Again,
That's a split.
think-
They've been beating the Chargers no matter what, but I think it's going to be different with Harbaugh.
it could be a split. He might split with them.
Yeah. Then at the Browns, Drew.
That's going to be a tough game. Might get some bad weather there. That'll be
December
in
15th.
November, December.
December 15th.
I'll give him a loss. I'll give him a loss there. Take a loss on the road.
But they don't really, the thing about them, they don't really care about the weather because they're in Kansas City.
You want to catch the Browns early.
Yeah, but my deal with
Dallas plays Browns first game of the year.
Yep, and that's just like Lamar. They were talking to Lamar about it. Lamar's like, it's game one. Who cares?
Yeah.
I know what the NFL was doing. The NFL is playing them early so they play each other while everybody's healthy instead of the end of the year because Joe Burrow was hurt at the end of last year. But the Chiefs, Drew, their bye is after week 6
Yeah.
or week 5. Their bye is early, and it's never that early, and I think that's going to hurt them, I believe. Then they play the Texans at home.
That could be a hell of a game.
Yep.
I'll take the Chiefs, but that could be a hell of a game.
Yep, December 21st. And then, of course, on Christmas, they're at Pittsburgh.
I like them there. I don't know. Who knows what Pittsburgh's going to do?
Yep, and if who the quarterback will be.
Yeah.
The question is, will Justin Fields be the quarterback then? That's the question. Will he still be the quarterback?
Pittsburgh could be a rough year. They could be just right at a 500 team again.
Yep. And then at the Broncos to close it out. And we don't know what that's going to mean.
Depends on how they're playing everybody, but they should win that game. I mean, I see them at 13-4.
Yep. By the way, Netflix is when they're on Christmas is on Netflix.
Yeah. 13-4, 12-5 is where I'd have them.
Yep. So you're taking the over?
Yep.
Taking the over. Then, of course, the Bears, which, dude, I'm going to tell you what, for a defensive coach, that they went offense like a mother. Did they not, Drew? God dang, they loaded up offensively.
I don't know how he's going to be his first year. Who knows?
Well, the whole thing is he's so off platform and what he can do because the only thing missing within their offensive line is probably a C. But, they're just, that's just, and they were talking about the Chiefs. Well, they don't have tackles and this and this. They ain't had tackles in how long?
Right.
They haven't had tackles in 4 years. So, the Bears play the Titans to start off, Drew. What do you think? Oh, by the way, the Bears, 8.5 over under.
Be right on it.
Right on it.
Where's that Titans game at?
They're playing in Chicago.
Home opener against the Titans. I like the Bears there to probably win that home opener. Titans might not be very good this year.
To start out at least, because we don't know what they're going to be. Then they have to go to the Texans and to the Colts.
To the Texans is a loss. To the Colts, that's a toss-up game. I'll give them a win there. That's indoors. I'll give them a win.
So 2-1.
Yeah.
Then they have to play the Rams at home. I think that's an L to me.
That one.
Yeah.
I'll take Rams there.
Yeah, me too. Then the Panthers, that's a W. And that's overseas in England or wherever they're going to have it, Germany or something. So that's overseas. Then
win that one.
Yeah. Then they take a bye. Then they play at the Commanders and at the Cardinals.
I think Washington's gonna be a tough game. They might lose both those games.
Yeah, at the Cardinals too. Yeah. So if you put them at do you have them at? Let me see. What's
3
that?
and 5?
3 and 5. 3 and 5.
Right? Is that 8 games?
Yes, 8 games. 7 games.
7 games. So 3 and 4.
3 and 4. Then they have the Patriots at home and the Packers at home, and the Vikings and the Vikings and the Vikings. That's their 3 home games. The Patriots, the Packers, and the Vikings back to back to back.
Vikings. Yeah. Did they win one of those?
They got to win one of those, don't you think?
Yeah, I think they win one of them, and then they're 4 and 6. I think they beat the Patriots. The swing game's going to be the Vikings.
Yeah, both of those games are at home.
I don't think they beat the Packers.
Both of those games are at home too, though, Drew.
I'm gonna say they're going to be 4 and 6 coming out of that.
And then they have, Drew. Listen to this: at the Lions, at the Niners.
Both losses, 4 and 8.
Yeah, 4 and 8. Then the Vikings.
And they could be 5 and 7, maybe.
Yeah, then they have the Vikings on the road.
That's a loss.
Then they have Lions at home, Seahawks at home.
Loss, win. So I got them at 6 and 9.
At Packers.
7 and 9, 6 and 10, 6 and 10.
Yeah, I think they'll be 8 and 8. I think they'll split with the Packers. They'll
they'll either be 7 and 10 or 8 and 9.
Yep. Yeah, one or the other. Yeah. So you're taking the under 8.5. You're taking the under.
I'll play under 8.5.
Yeah, under 8.5. And
tough schedule for them.
Yeah. I mean, they're loaded, but his rookie year, that's going to be tough for them to do anything. I think it's going to be tough for them to get something done.
Yeah,
so.
He's going to be on the run too. There are going to be people getting after him.
Yep. So what do you like tonight? And then we're going to be out of here. What do you like tonight? So you liking the Mavericks?
I'm going chalk. I like the Mavericks in the over. I think it's high scoring. I think the Mavericks win a close game.
Yep.
Close them out. I think Kyrie closes them out in the fourth quarter.
I think he does too. He's arguably the best closer in the NBA. I think him, SGA, Luka, Jokic.
Lively's not playing tonight. I like Kyrie to score more points.
Yep. I was telling somebody else. To me, it's Kyrie, SGA, Jokic, and probably Luka are your 4 best closers, I think, in the league. In the fourth quarter, at the end of the game, all of them will shut the door on you.
Yeah.
All of them will shut the door on you. That's kind of how I look at it. So.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep. But anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here, bro?
Man, I think we got a great week coming up of college baseball. We didn't get a chance to touch on it a whole lot.
Oh, that's right. Hey, well, let's talk about our Cowboys taking care of the Big 12.
Well,
you know what's up?
Great. Taking care of the Sooners again 4 out of 5 times this year.
Hey, how about our boy Tracy Moore? Oh, well, they won the regular season. That's all that matters. Really? That's because
they didn't care about the regular season. They literally did not play 2 games. They didn't care.
That's what I like. You and I talk about like they didn't play 2 games and you barely beat them by half a game. They didn't play 2 games.
Yeah, and I didn't think OU deserved a top 8 seed. You lost 4 out of 5 to Oklahoma State. You got beat by Dallas Baptist twice. You got beat 2 out of 3 by Texas. The really, really good teams you played, you got beat by, and then get beat in the Big 12 championship game. I mean,
got
to me,
spanked.
they were, and then I couldn't. if they didn't get an AC, which I kind of like the way they did, OU got the easiest regional possible.
Yep.
They got ORU who's under 500. They got UConn who's in probably the weakest conference that has an automatic bid in the Big East. I mean, Big East doesn't play baseball, and then you get who was the other one in there? UConn. Duke.
Duke.
You get Duke in there who won the ACC tournament when Clemson and North Carolina both got upset early.
Yeah.
So, really, I mean, OU should come out of their regional.
Well,
they really should.
We got lucky too, didn't we not? Not getting Dallas Baptist?
I don't know. OSU, Dallas Baptist not there, but I think OSU probably got the toughest regional because you get Nebraska, who's been on fire and wins the Big Ten championship, and then Florida, who's got 2 pro prospects at pitching, but Florida really wasn't that good all year, but it kind of caught fire at the end of the year. So it's going to be an interesting game, that first game of the regional with Florida and Nebraska playing, because now Nebraska has to throw their ace. They cannot not throw their ace against Florida.
Yep,
so,
and then we got Niagara, and at least we start out with Niagara, don't we?
It's a lot better than having ORU or Dallas Baptist in there. I promise you, if you're an Oklahoma State fan.
Yep.
We should be able to throttle Niagara, save our ace for the Saturday night game against Florida and Nebraska. We should be a pretty good
Florida,
chance.
Nebraska winner. Yes, I agree.
And we got a nice little draw with Clemson as our super regional host, because Clemson's got a tough draw in their regional. I mean, they may not win their regional, so we got a good chance to host a super. We can get Clemson to get beaten. Even if Clemson does win, I think we could go to Clemson and win.
Yep, I do too. It depends on how we're doing and if we're playing, and and
that's the big difference this year with this Oklahoma State team is they've got pitching.
Yep.
They've got 3 guys that can pitch and pretty good bullpen.
And can hit. Can hit, yeah. So
the kid from UConn is just killing the ball. Binge.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't realize that they got him going as a top 15, top 20 draft pick in the draft in the first round.
Dude, he can play though. You got him, and you got the kid Richie too. And I was just like, man, where are you finding these kids from Oklahoma? When did Oklahoma, because usually the good Oklahoma baseball players go out of state. Do they not, Drew? They don't usually stay here.
Saying of Oklahoma baseball and softball, you're going to have fun 2 weeks. I think OU's going to win their regional. I think OSU wins their regional. And in OU and OSU, those are 2 really good chances to meet up in the Women's College World Series.
Yep. I'm trying to work on my tickets right now to go to the Women's College Baseball. I want to go to that, man. I think last year we went from one, got to go to one, but I want to go do that, man. That's a beautiful place.
We'll be in Stillwater all weekend. Jake's going to have the corral. So
yeah, I saw him say that. I saw him do that.
And sitting sweet. So if you get a wild hair, you want to come up Saturday night. Hopefully we're playing Nebraska. And I'll get to see some friends come in town, and it should be a good time.
Yeah, I may do that on Saturday because I get to get off at 2:00 now, so I'll be off early this weekend.
And
so
hopefully, if OSU, knock on wood, we should beat Niagara.
We should be playing
Saturday night.
Let's hope. So anyway, all right, brother. Appreciate you. That's my guy Drew. Just my guy Drew Hinthorn of Husker Drew Picks.
Go Big Red.
One of these days I'm gonna cut your ass off on that shit. One of these days. Appreciate you, big boy.
I'm gonna have to pack for 2 teams this weekend. I'm gonna have to pack my day outfit and my night outfit.
Oh my God, I'm done. What are you gonna do? OSU and Nebraska play. What color you wearing?
Black.
Oh my God, I'm done with you. My guy Drew Hinton on HuskerDrewPicks.com. Appreciate you, bro. And of course, I want to thank YNB for sponsoring us today to be here at George's Happy Hog on Tuesday. That being said, hey.